All right, guys. So in this video, we're going to be looking at types of angles. All right, so let's get started. So we already know about some basic angles, right? We know about right angles. You learned about right angles maybe a while ago. So a right angle measures 90 degrees, right? It looks something like this. So let's say we drew a right angle, it would look something like maybe this. It's like two exact straight lines running into each other. All right. So, and how we normally denote a right angle is using a box. Instead of using the arc that we talked about in the last video, right? So instead of using a little arc, we use a box to denote exactly 90 degrees. All right, so that's a right angle. Then you guys know about acute angles. Okay, acute angles measure less than 90 degrees. So an example of an acute angle would look like this, right? It's less than 90 degrees, right? If this is 90 degrees, okay, so this is 90 degrees. This one's less than 90 degrees. And for the acute, we draw an arc like that. So maybe we'll just draw a line to it and we'll say it's less than. That's the less than sign, 90 degrees. All right, so that's an acute angle. Another, let's do like another acute angle would be like this, right? All right, that's still less than 90 degrees, less than 90 degrees. All right, then we have obtuse angle, which measures greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. So obtuse angle would look something like this. So greater than 90, okay, obtuse angle, greater than 90, but less than 180. So obtuse would look like this. All right, so like this angle right here, okay, because 90 would be like right here. All right, so as you can see, it crossed 90 degrees. Okay, so like this right here would be 90 degrees. And then the obtuse went over the 90 degrees. So it's greater than 90 degrees, but it's less than 180 degrees. So it's less than this line right here. This straight line is, this line right here has 180 degrees. All right, and it's less than that. So for example, this would be another obtuse angle. All right, it looks kind of straight, but it's not straight. All right, the angle is very large. All right, but it's less than 180. 180 comes from a straight line, and that's going to be the new angle that we're going to talk about. All right, so this new angle that we're going to talk about, okay, let's start off with the definition. Is going to be called a straight angle. So definition: a straight angle is an angle that measures 180 degrees. All right, so you can think of it as a straight angle being the measure of an angle of the angle that comes from a straight line. So let's say this thing right here is a straight line. Then the measure that comes from that straight line is 180 degrees. All right, it's pretty straightforward. All right, so a straight angle measures 180 degrees. A straight angle is the measure of the degrees of a straight line, pretty much. Okay, it's the arc. It's the degree measure from a straight line. All right, that's pretty much all it is. Next definition. All right, this one's gonna involve this thing called complementary angles. Okay, so this one says definition: two angles are said to be complementary. That's complementary. Complementary if their measures sum to equal 180. All right. So as in all of these other angles, note it was just one angle. Okay. For example, right angle was just 90 degrees. Acute angle, just one angle less than 90 degrees. Obtuse angle, just one angle greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. All right, so Now we're looking at two angles. Okay, that's important. Two angles are said to be complementary if their measures sum means add, right? So they sum to equal 90 degrees. Let's look at some examples. So let's look at this example here. Let's say we have this little right angle going on. All right, so I'm going to denote it by it being a right angle. Okay, so what do we know about this so far? We know this thing is 90 degrees, right? Because it's a right angle. Right angle measures 90 degrees, and we denote it with the little square on the inside. Okay, so let's just say we have this. Now, let's say that we split up this angle. Let's keep it simple to start off with. So let's say that we split this angle directly in half. Okay, so now it'll look like this. All right, so now it looks like this. So we split the 90-degree angle that we had here directly in half. So if we split 90 degrees directly in half, how much is each one going to be? Well, if you split 90 in two, it's 45 and 45. Okay, so that means this top angle, let's call it A, and you have this bottom angle here, let's call it B. Okay, so what this means is, since we cut up an angle that measured 90 degrees exactly in two, that means angle A, the measure of angle A is equal to, well, 90 divided by 2, right, because we split it directly in half, is going to be 45 degrees. Okay, and I'm saying measure here because we're talking about the actual degree of this angle A here. So I'm saying M stands for measure. Measure of angle A is equal to 45 degrees. And that means that the measure of angle B is equal to 45 degrees, right? Because we took a 90-degree angle and cut it exactly in two. And if you take 90 and cut it in two, you get 45 and 45. So now what can we say about angle A and angle B? Well, what we can say is we can say angle A and angle B are complementary. All right, why can we say that they're complementary? Because what's 45 plus 45? 45 plus 45 is 90. All right, and if two angles are said to be complementary if their measures sum to equal 90 degrees. All right, so that's pretty much it. And for this first example for complementary, let's look at another example. Maybe we won't cut this one directly in half. Maybe we'll cut it, let's say, all right, so we still have the 90 degrees, but maybe we'll cut it like this, a little bit smaller, like this. All right, so maybe this is our this is our little angle that we're cutting right now. Okay, so what we can do is, well, we still took 90 degrees, right, and we cut it. Let's say this angle here is angle C, and this angle here is angle D. All right, and let's say that the measure of angle C is equal to 55 degrees. And then we'll say that the measure of angle D is 35 degrees. Well, what can we say about the measure of angle C and the measure of angle D? Okay, what can we say about both of these angles? Well, we can say, just like we said before, we can say the measure of angle C, okay, actually not measure, just angle C. Sorry, so we can just say angle C and angle D are complementary because their measures add up to be 90, right? What's 55 plus 35? Well, 5 plus 5 is 0, carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. Okay, so we get 90 degrees here. Okay.